Welcome, my friend. After many years of specialized practices and integrative care with health and life challenges, I overcame. Now I live with boundless energy and creativity because each body is divinely designed to do its own healing when given the right food to slow the effects of aging in the cellular level. Instead of declining, we are regenerating. I call that optimized wellness and maximized living. Welcome to my show, 1 Degree Change. Hello, welcome back. I am so excited to talk about vitamin. This is one time I would love to have everybody understand what is vitamin, especially the vitamin B complex. Last time we talked a little bit in depth about vitamin D, its absorption, and how vitamin F and vitamin G actually transport uh, nutrients from the cell to the bloodstream or from the bloodstream back to the cell or the heart. Now, today, I am thrilled to share the importance of vitamin B. We call it a complex because it's a whole family full of it. And the family of vitamin B go from B1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 9. And then there are some that I call it very controversial, vitamin B. And there's a family of three. I call it B13, B15, and B17. Some of you may have heard of it, and some of them are not approved by the FDA in the United States. And I'll tell you a little bit why when we get to B17. There's a very important name associated with it, and I just want to clarify why we need B, especially B complex. And many people think, well, all I want is a B. Well, you don't know which kind you're taking. So I want to make sure that we go a little bit deeper about vitamin B. The reason why it's complex is because sometimes certain Bs, now that you know the number and the family, and I will also share different names and also why they are being utilized for the body and maybe certain symptoms that you are aware of. And I want to make sure that you make those associations the minute you hear vitamin B. Is it a B1? Is it a B3? Is it a B6? They all have different functions, and some of them require specific enzyme for absorption. I'm somebody that's not only do prescription for high quality absorbable supplement, but I have been a patient long before I prescribe as a naturopathic doctor. Even though I retired, I continue to use vitamin B, and because I don't see new patients, and there are people that occasionally come back because they're so used to me and because the supplement I prescribe really works and depends on the condition and what is needed and how I put them together with certain enzymes, and they cooperate with each other. So I want to get back to the B complex. So what is vitamin B? B1 is called thiamine. And some of you have heard it. When you look at a bottle of supplement, you will say, oh, it does have B1, but they didn't say B1, but they say thiamine. So that means B1 is in there. So, what does B1 help with? I have to say, when you think of B1, thiamine, you immediately can associate with neurotransmitter, nerve, and myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is very important word, especially about neuron and nerve firing. And I have to say, especially people with MS, they absolutely need B1 or thiamine, and is a very important uh, vitamin B family. And also, there are people that when they have brain degeneration, difficulty breathing, muscle spasm, they are in need of thiamine or B1. Is some people call it the alpha vitamin. Uh, is also um, for people with very lethargic behavior. They're not very motivated, and thiamine is very helpful for teenagers. And it also uh, with people helpful for people with low iodine, and it helps in the production of fatty acids, and it helps produce cellular energy. That word cellular, cells, cell communicates in a different language than what we say. In fact, um, uh, because I work with stem cells, I call it cell factor therapy. They don't even have to touch each other, they have their own language, and the cells communicate with each other. It is the most fascinating thing, and I am so excited to get there. We are actually talking, educating, and facilitating stem cell. And not all stem cell are the same. And be careful when you try to go to stem cell therapy. And if you don't have a rich supply of thiamine, it may not work as well. So now, again, remember, the minute you hear thiamine, you think of nerve, uh, neural transmitter, uh, neuron, um, anything to do with brain degeneration, you will need thiamine on top of everything else. And also, people with difficulty breathing, you will need B1 thiamine. Now, complex just means that it works together with different enzymes. So when you hear that, oh, I have this condition, I have low blood pressure, or my thyroid is low, ask your nutritionist or doctor that are very uh, familiar with vitamin and mineral, or your naturopath, because they will do some detective work. So the next one is B2. B2 is called riboflavin, and that name really can ring a bell when you have fatigue, especially cataracts, uh, burning sensation, excessive tearing. And even for me, I have to blink my eye a little bit more frequent, is because I'm in need of the trace mineral that combined with a B. And it's also called uh, the people that with allergies, uh, skin problem. B2 riboflavonoid is also very effective. And especially during recovery time when people have to have cancer treatment with severe headaches. And it had been, riboflavonoid is also uh, useful for people with depressions. So that was B2. B3, uh, niacinamide is a uh, they call is anti-pellagra vitamin, and there are three words or three conditions that associate with it: is diarrhea, dermatitis, and also dementia. You would think they are not together, connected, but it also is a very important uh, vitamin B family, and it helps in the forming of red blood cells, and also very quality uh, addition to any adrenal functions. And also it synthesizes uh, testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen. You will always need B3 to compound with it. And for people that are very restless, um, just all kinds of maybe even nightmares at night, B3, niacinamide, that's the name that associate with B3. Um, restless legs. It also stimulates circulation, um, but it could also be needing um, other minerals. So it's not just one, but that's the major player. And then it also can be helpful with um, cholesterol, depression. If there are hallucination, niacinamide B3 should be also a part of the, I would never call it treatment, but support, because vitamin and minerals should support uh, your picture of health. And then also people that have alcoholic depression or going through withdrawal, niacinamide is also helpful. So that takes care of uh, number 3. I want to also take this opportunity to take a break to explain how I got through very severe injury in the brain, and I take a lot of vitamin B complex. So I'll see you right back. Hi, Dr. Mary Axness here. At age 72, I finally retired. And guess what? I wrote a book. It's called Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life. And you know what? God healed me from 3 major medical challenges. One of them was a serious brain concussion injury over 10 years ago. And the doctor said there's nothing they can do other than just sit on the porch and rock. That didn't sit well with me at all. So I do what I knew best to do: eat myself back to health, plus co-labor with God, and did a lot of study and understand how to feed the brain well and recover. Now I can say, order this book. I'm going to have classes over this too. And come along and grow young with me. Retirement is just a new chapter. All right, did you like that testimony? I have to say, God healed me so many times. 3 major incidents that I felt like I was trying to be taken out. But you're seeing me today by the grace of God. I am so excited to leave a legacy of health, wholeness, and healing. And without the quality supplement I I am taking, I feel like I may not be here, or at least in the shape I am in over 70. So let's get back to vitamin B. So we are ready to go to the vitamin B4, and it's called the anti-paralysis vitamin. It promotes everything to do with heart tissue, uh, the efficiency of conductivity that maintain synchronizing and the rhythm of the heart muscle. Well, the heart has several chambers, and four chambers to be exact. The artery, pumping the blood, the tone, the sound, and the rhythm of the heart, and the speed of it too. So to have a report saying your heart tone or the tissue and the muscles, all of them requires high concentration of nutrients. And I call this um, the motor nerve function, and B4 would be your answer, and we call it the anti paralysis vitamin. Not everybody understand this, but I just want to give you some key points. And also, um, if people have a tendency, if people have like aneurysm, stroke, that kind of condition, I definitely recommend you to ask your nutritionist to focus on B4, and it also prevent degenerative conditions with the heart and the nervous system. Um, we're talking about the nutrients that is like a normalizer or it steadies the nerve, muscles, and also the cells in the vascular system. This is a complex network, and that's why just the B family is a very complex network of vitamin and nutrients and combinations of things with different enzymes are needed to make sure your cellular level is being fed with these high functioning supplement. We call it the B family. And so now we go to B5, pantothenic acids. And some of you have heard about uh, the name of it, but it's actually the B5, number 5 family, and is the anti stress vitamin. Anytime when people are at the doctor's and they give you a stress test, chances are if you have high stress in your life, pantothenic acid would be a part of the supplement, and I know that they put it in certain medications. However, it is always best to take the vitamin separately and not mix with other meds. The absorption rate is so much better, and the anti stress vitamin of B5 is to help your adrenal glands, major glands. Um, we cannot not take care of our adrenal system, and it's also a high prevention of aging. And uh, pantothenic acid, sometimes they put it in skincare because it's supposedly help prevent aging. And because the stress can cause grinding of teeth, TMJ symptoms is useful when you add B5, the pantothenic acid, into your vitamin. And when you see that in the box, you know it's an anti stress nutrient. And also for people with epileptic seizure. Um, Sometimes it runs in a family, and it has a lot of connection to do with uh, high stress lifestyle, um, abuse, especially women have had emotional, mental, even physical abuse, and as a result, they have a disease called epileptic seizure, and or grand mal seizure. And when that happens, this particular supplement, uh, pantothenic acid B5, would be very, very helpful for them. And of course, MS, multiple sclerosis is very important. They have thiamine and uh, pantothenic acid, B1 and 5 is a no brainer. And if people have these conditions, make sure they have these B complex into their daily formulation of vitamin. Um, I have seen dramatic changes in people. Just give the body what it needs. Of course, on top of a quality food source, diet, um, fresh, green, um, proportional with the right amount of fish, meat, vegetables, fruit, and you do need the sugar in the fruit. So this doesn't always act alone, but when it's supplemented, it really support these conditions. That is B5. Now we go to uh, B6. B6 is called pyridoxine and is called the women's uh, vitamin. It helps very obvious with hormonal balance, and especially for premenstrual syndrome, they call PMS. And for people with breast soreness, uh, they may or may not have a diagnosis, but when people have stress, especially hormonal distress, um, breast soreness can be a symptom. And if it persists, please have a check. It's very important to regularly check your breast. Emotional tensions, if you have imbalance of the fluid, like swelling, pregnancy, and associated with morning sickness, then B6 is your go-to vitamin B. Then for breast cancer prevention, you if you have breast cancer in the family, you can't go without B6. Then estrogen. Oh my goodness, women have so many issues with unchecked estrogen level, and people our age, progesterone is the nutrient, the supplement we need instead of estrogen, especially postmenopausal women. Uh, postmenopausal women. And then B6 for hyperactive children. Of course, the dosage has to be supervised. Then autism, Parkinson, some epilepsy, seizure. It does increase the cell production within the DNA and the RNA. And RNA also is another nutrient called ribonucleic acid. Is very important to be fed. And it also, B6 helps with the detox pathway. Now, a lot of people say, detox, what on earth is that? The medical community called detox the Herxheimer's response. Anytime when you put good things into your body, it is possible that people will go through a little bit of a detox process. And it has association with certain symptoms, such as dizziness, a little bit of headache, but they don't last. But nonetheless, you'll have to pay attention to them. We're going to continue next week to talk and finish talking about the other family members of the B complex. But right now, we just want to be so grateful. And I want to do the meditation that I always end with every episode. How grateful we are. So if you can do this part too, every night before I go to bed, I close my eyes and I said, "Oh, I am so grateful that I could eat, sleep, poop, pee, sweat, and swallow." That is something I counted as a blessing. And I go to bed and I sleep very well. And if you can dream, that's even better. So I thank you for watching. And next time, don't forget to pay attention to your bee family. And this is all educational purpose. And you can be an expert in understanding the bee complex. We'll continue next week. Thank you.